Hello, everyone. Um, well, yesterday we had a walk in Caravaca with the art group, which is now in Spain with me in Caravaca, precisely. And these are some artworks which are sculptures which are all dotted around the main promenade of Caravaca. And they're ladies of in different positions. One is reading, one is just looking around or relaxing, and they have different names. This one is called La Lectura, the lecture. La Lectura. So she's having a lecture, or she's giving a lecture. She's reading probably to children, or she's reading a book to a group of people. Now, they're very abstract looking and not very realistic, as you can see, but they're very funny, and they do have a realistic element to it, especially the proportions are quite good. But you can see the face, there's no face, and it reminds me a little bit of Rodin. So we had Rita and Alison and Maggie working on them, and it's quite funny, and they had a fantastic work. Actually, I really like what they've done. It's quite expressive, their drawings. So let's see how we can deal with these without going too much on detail, and start having and working with the direction of the body, which has that line here, the axis line. Then you have the thigh coming that way, thigh coming that way, or the other thigh, and you have the shin and the hands, obviously, but mainly is that axis line, which is this one here, axis line. As I said, the hand is here, which is this one here. The upper arm, the other upper arm, and you have the body here, and the dress that she's wearing. I'm keeping, as you can see, I'm holding the charcoal deliberately sideways. So a very small charcoal, maybe about a centimeter and a half. So it's quite small. And you have the other side of her body, which is that side. Upper arm, lower arm. There's the book here that she's reading. And as I said earlier, we have the thigh up here. We don't see the thigh, but we know that the thigh is there. We know that the upper part of the thigh. Knee cup, calf, as you can see, quite wide calf. She's a large lady. And then you have that side of her dress, which is this one here, and we end up to the foot here, there. And you have that line here, or the upper, the calf there, upper thigh. Again, we do not see it, but we know it's there. And I'm marking that line here, which is this fold here. There's another line at the top. So there are two lines which I see here quite sharp. This one and that one. This one and that one. And this is what I'm trying to produce here and make. And there's another sharp line here, which is this one here. Now, to be honest, I shouldn't concentrate on those lines at this stage of the drawing because it's a bit too early. But keep working with proportions, and she's... then you have the heel, which we don't actually see, and the calf here, and the dress, and proportion-wise, The body is not too bad. I need now to deal with the head, which is actually on the same axis line, which is there, right there. So the head is here. Or I can use, actually that line here is more about her back here, pretty much. So I can also use that to produce the head, and from here to hold that line, which I suppose is here, either this or that. I need to find out as I'm going along, and have the head here. But the head, as we said, as you can see, very abstract. There. So it's just a general, it's more about the expression and the gesture that she's having, which is quite funny. And you can interpret it as she's falling, or, but most likely, as the artist said, it's the lecture. And the back of her, the line of the back of her back here, the back line here. Then you have that line here. We have calf here, shin, a bit more rounded here. And on a horizontal line, this foot is slightly higher than that foot. So if that foot is here and it stops and it ends up here, then that is a little bit higher. There, that's the other foot. I brought them a little bit together because I don't have much space here to show you, although I can turn the camera on the right. But if I turn the camera on the right, you won't see the sculpting, so I'm leaving it there. And I'm trying to reduce the size of the drawing. Upper, that's the shoulder here. The upper arm, shoulder. It's quite scarish and quite squarish. Sorry, scary, not scary, squarish. And the book is more to the left. And the book is actually, if the hip, if the kneecap ends up here, then you have the hand going up here, hand going straight, very close to the kneecap, and also the same vertical line. So if the kneecap ends up or stops here, then you have the hand here, the other hand, the other part of the hand light here, and the book itself, which exceeds the kneecap. They're quite humoristic figures. So it's basically, it's a good sculpting. It's actually, they're good figures, interesting, well proportioned, very impressive in size. It's larger than, it's larger than life size. And then that humor, which I think is humorous anyway. And you have that dark side of the right hand side of the face here, neck, and here as well. So it's now, I would say, it's the time for me to create some darker shadows, which I'm looking at. This one is actually a fold, but it translates beautifully the back or the upper body, where the hip, which is here, starts and becomes the thorax or the upper body. That line defines the hip from the lower body and upper body, so which is that line here. I've moved that line a little bit more to the left, that particular line here, and I can even move her kneecap here. Extend the foot a little bit more, heel. And I think I need a larger charcoal, to be honest. And you have the end of her big bum, some folds here. This is that line, which is the upper arm. That is a plane. It's like it's clearly a plane here at work. And you have the, don't know what it's her hair, I guess. Don't know how much sense that does, but it's almost like a crest of a chicken, cockerel. This one. And you have the nose coming down, chin, neck, upper body, upper arm, and large breasts. Actually, you don't see the breast, you just see the volume of it. And shadow of the neck. There's a highlight here, and that's important because that defines the upper body, the upper arm. And I'm talking about this light. And there's another highlight here, up here, which is the skylight being reflected on her upper arm, and that is more of an angular shape here. And all the folds that I see here, they come and they have a little bit of a crack here between them. They separate themselves. And the highlight here on the kneecap, which is right vertically under that. But it's right under that highlight. So if that's there, you can have the kneecap quite bright right here. And she's sitting on a bench, I guess. That's also to keep the sculpting afloat because it's quite heavy. So it serves two purposes. This is that, but I don't want to make it as dark as that, or I can continue to make it dark at the top where the fold is. This one. Bit of a brush here because I think I've gone a bit too dark there. I'm going to find a brush and spread those darks. So take that dark and spread it up here, which is at the other fold up here, and another fold here. There. And you have the dark of the upper arm, which is here, this dark, which is that one here, and the hand itself goes beyond the head. So you see, I've done that's a mistake here. The hand goes more to the left, and also makes the whole arm a little bit longer. Extend the arm more to the left. Kind of an alien face here. It's more about the volume, it's more about gesture. It's a good exercise on gesture, this one. And is exhibited right in front of the promenade. Everybody can see it, people pass by. Some people just don't notice them. Or they're used to it. Don't know what to say really. But I find them quite interesting. All the figures there. And so I'm pushing the, as you can see, the legs, the two, the further apart. Bit of highlight here, bit of highlight on the fold up here, and the fold comes right down. There. And more distance in between the foot, a little bit lighter here, this area, and the bronze statue is quite dark. And a little bit more thigh on the right here. Okay, and lighter tonal value here, which is that one there. Shoulder. Highlight at the top of the head. A bit dark the book too. Also, we have the knuckle bones here. And the book itself, it's a bit thicker up here. And I would go a little bit larger here, or wider on this side. Just a bit wider. And you have that fold up here, or here too. And bring the arm a little bit lower. She's a large lady, you can see that on her arms too. And some highlights. Soft darks, very soft darks. And a little bit wider upper arm here. It's all about balancing the upper body, upper arm to the lower arm, and see the relationship in between these two. How much wider is up here and how much thinner is down here. think I need to bring that kneecap a little bit lower, but it's also good as where it is anyway. It's fine. Doesn't have to be a perfect, accurate drawing, because it's not an accurate sculpting also. It's purposely done this way, so you're not bothered about who is the lady. You just see the personification of somebody of that stature reading a book or giving a lecture, as the title says. And those darks, they need to be a little bit unified, I guess. Don't want it to look like a I want it to look like a bronze statue and not like a wooden statue, if you know what I'm trying to say here. So I want that to be, it's reflected dark. It reflects darks, lighter darks, darker here, dark there, but not too dark here compared to this one. So you need to as it is different there, we need to differentiate those on our drawing too. And the plinth itself, which I haven't actually done anything yet. That gives it a little bit of a 3D effect, so brings the drawing into more, makes the drawing and the sculpting and the figure makes a bit more sense. There. And a softer dark here. So the brush is making it's instead of the stump, it's making the job of the stump, and I would say better as well. So you can use any material that you've got around you, and a little bit less dark here because it's under the upper arm. Folds here, there, and everywhere. Folds here. Okay, and a little bit of dark tone around here, and then into that area here, which is quite light. A light dark tone. Don't know if that makes sense. It's a dark tone, but it's light compared to this dark tone. Folds here, and that is quite light here, right up here, and that's almost at the level of the thigh. And highlight here of the kneecap, quite this one, and here as well, and the pinky, which looks separate, and it's right here. give it a little bit of a definition of the nose, if you like, just about, and highlight on the head. And some reflected light here. There you go. Pinky is funny here. Look at the pinky. Okay, I think I'm happy with it. Doesn't have to be more detailed. Sorry about that. Crazy bird at late night. Singing, I guess, singing or whatever he's doing. Some of you would know what type of bird that is. Here we are, and a little bit of shadow right here on the platform. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Buenas noches.